first remote class together. Times are changing and we're adjusting as things go along, so thank you very much for being here and taking this time for yourself. I'm happy to be here with you. I will try to give you a practice today that is intended to be somewhat simple in the movement, but still moving a lot. Since I can't see you, I don't want to make it too complex. It's just important really that we move the body. Our energy is somewhat heavy and somewhat agitated probably right now and feeling a little uncertain, and all of those thoughts and feelings that you have imprint on your body in a very physical way, and we start to feel the tightness, the tension, all of that building up over time. So it's important that we just move the body to release and discharge some of that energy so that we can make space to feel some of those nicer emotions and notice the little blessings that are in every day. So that is my intention for us in this practice today, to let us feel grounded and move and not worry so much about the complexity of the movement. All right, so let's begin by standing on your mat. And just stand with your feet underneath your hips. Let your arms dangle down to your sides. Let your eyes close. Just feel the weight of your body in the soles of your feet. Allow your knees to soften just a little, so you can feel that sinking sensation. Let your shoulders drop. Let your chest broaden. Let your awareness settle with your breath. And just riding the wave of your breath in and out. Checking in with how it is you are feeling. Giving it a name, giving it a label. Acknowledging and not ignoring, not shutting down. Letting yourself feel. Or at least acknowledge the presence of the feeling, even if you can't process it quite yet. Take another deep breath, fill yourself up. And as you exhale, start to let your chin drop down towards your throat. Let your hands come around to the front of your thighs, causing your shoulders to round forward. And then let your fingertips start to make their way all the way down your thighs, past your knees, your shins, to your ankles. Let your head dangle down. Let your arms be heavy. Let your body sway. Lift up your toes, spread them out. Place them down again gently. The next time you breathe in, lift your head and shoulders to look ahead as you flatten out your back. And then breathing out, let it go again, soften. Inhale to a half lift with a strong belly. Exhale. Start to sweep the arms out to the side and then let them rise overhead as you press your feet into the earth. Hands to the heart. From the heart we rise to the top. Link your thumbs together, palms face forward. Exhale, bend over to the left side. Breathe into that beautiful open space here that you've created on the right. Try to make space for your neck as well. Send your shoulders down. As you inhale, we're going to come back to center. Hold strong through the belly. As you exhale, let's go over to the right side. Next inhale brings us separate, soften your knees, lead with your heart. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, place your fingertips back down on the floor and then straighten your left leg. Raise your left arm up and twist your body, maybe looking up to that hand. Soften both of your knees as you let that hand come back to the earth. And then begin to straighten your right leg. Raise your right hand up. Feel your twist gentle on the other side. Beautiful. Let that arm come down. Both knees are really bent here. And then start to straighten the legs by lifting your sit bones. Drop your nose in towards your knees. And then reverse the toe to the pelvis. Let the tailbone tuck down. Let your fingertips start to drag up your shins again, up your thighs. Slowly the shoulders come up and then the head. Take the shoulders all the way back and down. Press the fingertips down the edges of your thighs here. Lift up the center of your rib cage. And standing at the top of your mat, you're going to take a deep inhale from here. Let the arms rise again. Big breath. As you exhale, come through your center, fold. As you inhale, there's a half lift. And as you exhale, soften those knees. Step both feet back. Let your knees come down to table position. Let your belly fall. Your tailbone rises as you breathe in. As you exhale, hug your belly in. Round your spine. Inhale, belly down, heart forward. Exhale, round your spine. Keep the belly drawing in, just let the spine come to more neutral. Raise your right arm and your left leg, lengthening both limbs. Palm faces into the center line, lift your thumb, lift your heel, but drop your left hip down. Keep your leg in the same place, take your arm back behind you, palm faces the ceiling as you rest your hand on your low back. Bend your left leg. Lift your heel, lift your heart a little higher by pushing into the floor, feeling your strength, balance, and focus. One more deep inhale, and then exhale, release your limbs. Drop your bottom to your heels, child's pose. Stretch your fingers forward, let your head come to rest down if possible, lengthening the back of your neck. As you inhale, come back to table position. Walk those knees in a little if you need to. Inhale again, belly down, lift your tailbone, lift your chin. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale, belly falls, heart forward. Exhale, round your spine. Now notice the tone to the belly here. Keep that tone, just let the spine neutralize a little bit as you raise your right leg and your left arm. Pressing out through the heel, through the fingertips, lifting your thumb and dropping your right hip so it's in line with your left. Take your left hand onto your back, lift your elbow a little, bend your knee on the right, and press up into the heel, press into the floor and lift your heart. Release both limbs down to the ground. This time, curl your toes under for me. Start to walk your hands back towards your knees. Maybe the hands stay here on the floor. Maybe they come up onto the thighs. Shoulders over the hips. Lift your head in line with the rest of your spine and just sink into the soles of the feet here a little, feeling that stretch. Mindfully rise up onto the shins. Step your right foot forward to the top of the mat. As you breathe in, let your arms rise up. As you breathe out, circle them down, interlace them behind you. Press the knuckles down the back of your thigh, lift your gaze, and then see if you can lift your hands just a little bit away from your back. Without bending your elbows, just do what you can. Feel the opening across your chest, that's the most important. And then press into both feet. Continue to stretch into the sole of the left foot as you press into the right foot. Deep breath. Let your eyes come down, let your hands come down to frame your foot. Lift your back knee up off the floor if you want to. If it's too much intensity, just keep your knee down. Your body is going to respond differently every day right now. The levels of stress and tension are constantly changing for us, moment to moment, so just be with yourself in compassion. Lift the back inner thigh a little bit more if you can. And then plant the left hand on the ground, raise the right one up. Feel a twist in this lunge. Extend. Let the hand come back down, let your knee come back down. I'm going to take this right foot back up behind you now. Press the sole of the foot to the sky. Press your left hand into the, or right hand into the ground, left hand into your heart. Extend your right leg. Plant your left hand, pivot on your right knee, raise your right hand. Find a little bit of a variation here on side plank. And again, you can always drop the right foot down to the ground, make the pose your own, do what feels good. Eyes come down, hand comes down, knee comes down. Your alignment, feel comfortable here before turning your toes back under, walking the hands back towards the knees and then up onto the thighs if that feels right for you. Sink down, let yourself be heavy. Stretching into the fascia of your feet here. Mindfully coming up onto the shins, step your left foot forward. Inhale, let your arms rise up. Exhale, take them back behind you. Interlace, drop the hands down the back of the thigh, open up, and maybe lift your hands a little bit more away. Keep pressing your right hip gently forward. Pressing into both feet. And letting that release. Eyes down, hands down. Knee rises behind you if that feels okay. Press out through that heel. Really feel the inner thigh, lifting that area of your body. And then go ahead and plant your right hand down. Left hand's gonna rise, feeling this twist. Allow your hand to come down. Allow your knee to come down. Let your left foot reach up behind you now. Push towards the ceiling with that heel. The right hand's going to come up into your heart, and we're going to lift the heart a little higher. Extend your left leg, plant your right hand down. Pivot on your right knee as you raise your left hand down, feeling the side plank extension here.
This is your quest, your journey. Beautiful years of learning.
Eyes down, hand down, knee down. Beautiful. Curl your toes under. Begin to press your hips back towards your heels. Press your hands down firmly into the mat. And then lift your knees. Drop the crown of your head as you bring your chin in towards your throat. Downward dog. Move or stay still. Again, just do what feels organic and natural and needed in your body right now. And then we're going to soften your knees. Look ahead towards your hands and step your right foot towards the top of the mat. Let your left heel come down. Let your arms rise up gently. And then bend into that right knee. Try to turn the center of your chest forward. Lift your arms and then send them back by your ears. Lift the inner ankle on your left foot. And then let your hands come to your heart. Allow the back heel to lift. Pivot on that toe base. Bend a little deeper into the front leg. Pull up and in through your belly, but then twist from your belly to place your left elbow on your right thigh. Press into your hands and lift your heart to meet your thumbs as you extend into your back leg. Remember, you can always drop that back knee to modify this posture. Take a deep breath. Let yourself slowly unwind. Take the hands down to the floor. Step your right foot back to downward facing dog. Breathe. Scoop up the belly, lift up the tailbone. Send your heels down. Soften the knees just a little here. Step your left foot forward. Let your right heel come down. Let your arms rise up, open up your heart. Bend into the left knee, center your chest, and press into the outer edge of your right foot. Bring your hands down into your heart space. Pick up your back heel. Pivot on your toes, hips face forward. Lengthen up as you breathe in. Leaning forward slightly. Take your right elbow onto your left thigh. Press into your hands. Twist your heart towards your thumbs. Hold strong in your legs and your belly. Slowly let yourself unwind. Take your hands down to the earth. Send your feet back. And this time keep your hips in line with your shoulders and your heels in a plank position. You can always drop your knees to modify this posture as well. But try to stay strong in whatever variation you choose. Your navel drawing up, your ribs drawing up. Still breathing, don't hold your breath. Let your knees gently melt down. Uncurl those toes, lower your chest, lower your belly. Now press into the tops of your feet so that your kneecaps rise, and then lift your chest. Keep your elbows drawing into your sides, light pressure in your hands, breathe. Exhale, lower down. Slide your hands forward now so your elbows are where your hands just were, right underneath your shoulders. Here we already feel a little back bend, so soften into it. Give your glutes a little shake. Press into your forearms and begin to rise your chest as high as you can. Lift your navel in away from the mat. Press into the tops of your feet. Back towards your navel. Press into your knees, lift your hips off the ground, a modified elbow plank. If you want to curl your toes, raise your knees, come into full elbow plank here. Push that floor away so strongly. Hold. Let your knees gently melt, untuck your toes. Press your pelvis down. Again, lift your heart. Push the ground away with those forearms. Take your elbows wide. Let your hide come down to rest on your stacked hands. Hands are going to come back alongside of your chest. Press yourself up into table position. We're going to extend the right arm and the left leg again. Reaching. Now you can come into the second variation that we did. The hand goes on the back, the knee is bent. Or you can see if you can reach back and grab onto your foot. And lift up through your chest. Lift up through your toes. Push into the ground. flag, extend it out, place your hand under your shoulder. Step that left foot all the way up to the top of the mat here on the left side. We're gonna pivot on your right knee a little bit here, and then just step your hands off the mat on the right side and push your hips to the left. Sink your chest down. Feeling a nice release here in the front of the hips, and the hip flexor, and the groin space. Let your hands walk back into alignment underneath your shoulders. Pivot your back knee so that the foot runs parallel to the long side of the mat. And then we're going to curl the toe under. Raise the leg up. Send your left foot back to downward facing dog. Let your knees gently melt to the ground. Left leg, right arm, extend and reach. Good, bring those two down. Right arm, left leg, extend and reach. Reach back and grab your foot if you can, or place your hand on your low back and lift your heart. Lift underneath your left knee. Extend the right leg out. Step your foot outside of your hip. Walk your hands off the mat here on the left as you pivot on that knee. Push your hips right. Release the chest down low. Back into alignment with those hands. Pivot on your left knee. Curl the toe under. Raise the knee off the ground. Send your right foot back to join your left. Lower the entire body now to the ground. Point your toes, raise your heart. Perhaps straighten your arms now. Curl your toes, raise your hips. Downward facing dog. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Drop your bottom down towards your heels. Keep those feet firmly planted. Lift your hands to your heart. Chair pose. Try to have the heart higher than your hips. Pull your belly in. Little pulse. On your next inhale, slowly rise. On your next exhale, sit back down. Inhale, begin to rise. Squeeze your bottom. Exhale, sit down. Good, one more. Inhale. And exhale. Take your fingertips to the ground. Take your hips to the sky. Nose to your knees. As you breathe in, half lift. As you breathe out, let it go. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the top. See if you can interlace your fingers together here. And extend up through the index finger and thumb. Press into your feet, press your thumbs back. Engage your glutes as you press your hips forward and lengthen your waist. Slide your shoulders down your back. Slowly let the eyes return to the top of the mat. Let your hands return to your head. Close your eyes. Just breathe and feel sensation in your body. Perhaps you've generated some heat. Feel the warmth, feel the rhythm of your heartbeat. take a step out with both feet here so that you are quite wide with your stance, wider definitely than your shoulders, probably about 5 feet apart. And then I just want you to pull your heels in a little bit, let your toes turn out. We're gonna let the body sink down into a low squat position, but try not to bend forward here. Keep your body upright, and then just pulse. 4, 3, 2, hold it at the bottom for me. Lift your left heel up off the ground. Pulse. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stay low, let your left heel come down. Raise your right heel up, and pulse. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Place that heel down, and now both heels come up. Pulse if you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both heels down, send them out in line with your toes. Now lift your sit bones, fold flat back, fingertips to the floor. Look towards your left foot, bend your body, sway, or bend your knee, sway your body towards that leg. And then come over to the other side. Try to stay low. You can move your hands if you want, just let them drag or walk across the ground as you lunge gently side to side. Just move at your own pace. If you want to linger a little, linger a little. Just try to keep your hips low as you go side to side. Once you've gone to both sides an equal number of times, come back to center for me. Lift up your chest, straighten both legs, firm your thighs. Bring your hands back up to your hips, firm your belly. From that firm belly, we rise all the way to the top. Let your left hand slide down, your right hand's gonna lift. And then we're gonna slowly transition over to the other side. And back. Good. Come on back. Arms are shoulder height. We're going to pivot on your right heel. Turn the toes to face the short end of the mat. Take a deep breath in as you extend, and then exhale, bend into that leg. Look out over that front hand. Lift your chin. Warrior. Feel strong, feel powerful. And then look towards your back hand. Raise your front arm up, take your fingertips behind your head. Let your back arm drop down, let your front elbow rise up. Just relax your neck, press your head back into your hand, and lift up that elbow. Press into both feet strongly, especially this back thigh here. Feel it really support you. And then slowly release your top hand. Straighten your front leg. Reach across as far as you can go. Allow the fingertips to come down, other fingertips are gonna rise. And we expand open. Press into the legs. Let your bottom arm release from your bottom leg. And let it just come up to the space beside your ear. Let your top arm reach over as well. Both arms are extended now. Hold strong through your belly. And then slowly lift up. Exhale, release. Right toes turn forward. Pivot on your left heel, toes turn to the side. Let those arms rise up again. Extend out through those fingertips. And then bend into the left leg. Try to drop the hips as low as they'll comfortably go, and then go just a little tiny bit further as you gaze over your hand and admire your strength, your resilience, your capacity to overcome difficult moments in life. You're doing that right now. Allow your back arm to drop, your front arm's gonna rise, bend your elbow, and then let the hand slide down the thigh as the front elbow lifts. Maybe even turn your head just to release your neck. Press your head back, press your elbow back. Press into your front leg. Make sure your knee is over your baby toe on that front leg. Back thigh strong. Don't lean on the back leg, just support gently. One more breath. And then gently rise, extend those arms. Straighten your front leg. Tip the pelvis, reach across with a straight spine. Fingertips down, other hand rises. Now lean back with your shoulders a little, head in line with the rest of your spine. Drop your rib cage down a little towards your thigh. Press into your strong legs. Let your bottom arm gently rise up. Let the top arm meet so the arms are parallel, extending and reaching. And then slowly rise from here. Exhale, release your arms. Toes to face the same direction. Hands go back to the sides of the legs. As you inhale, sweep those shoulders back and down. Send your heart forward as you fold. Let your hands slide down towards your ankles or your big toes, and let yourself be drawn deeper. Dropping the head. Release the hands from the feet as you lift your head and shoulders. Take your fingertips in front and just heel toe your feet in, maybe 2 steps together. And then drop your bottom down. Take your hands back up to the heart space now. Lift up by pressing out with your elbows into your knees and lifting your chest up away from your belly. Try to lengthen. Press into those legs now. Try not to just sink into comfort, but find your strength within. Lift your pelvic floor. We're going to extend your arms out in front. So you can interlace the fingers if you like and just extend the index fingers forward. Keep pushing your knees open towards your baby toes. Rise up a little higher. Hold. Breathe. Don't hold your breath. Breathe all of that tension that we're releasing from your cells out of your body through your breath. Come up a little higher. And a little higher. And finally, slowly rising all the way to the top. Let your arms release down to your sides. Take your toes back in the same direction as your feet, and then heel toe in so they're back underneath your hips. Breathe. Just close your eyes here. Back to awareness, to connection, shifting and releasing energy in your body. In fact, here, let's just create a little bounce in your knees. Creating a whole bounce through the whole body. Shake your hands a little. You can sway a little bit side to side. Feel some of that tension just dripping off the fingers. Letting the whole body release this vibration. Letting the muscles shake. Soften your neck, your shoulders. Just a couple more breaths. And then right away, come back into stillness. Firm your thighs, lift your belly, lift your heart. Press your shoulders down. Notice. Tingling. Is any feeling that you have in your fingers, in your hands, in your arms, in your shoulders, in your heart. To come into a low squat position, but I just want you to have your legs hip distance apart. Place your hands at your heart space. Try to keep your shoulders over your hips and just start to bend your knees. So it's like chair pose, but we're not going to come forward as far with the chest because we're going to start to let those heels lift off the ground. We're going to slowly lower into a low squat on your toe basis, lifting the chest. Try to keep your knees the same distance apart as your hips, your toes pointing in the same direction, straight ahead. And then just let your fingertips come down to the floor. Walk them back a little bit here so that you can come to sit back on your seat. Extend your legs out into a straddle seat in front of you, but keep your hands behind to lift up your chest. Extend your spine and press your thighs down into the earth. Try to connect as much of your body as you can to the earth here, through the back of the legs, through the palms perhaps. Maybe it's just the fingertips, that's okay. Lift up the chest. Start to slide those legs together in front. Keep your feet flexed. Release your arms, but don't release your spine. Let it stay the way it is. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, fold over those engaged legs. So pull your toes back. Press your thighs down. Drop your elbows. Drop your head. To slowly rise, hands drag up your shins. Pull the inner knees apart so the soles of your feet can come together. Take the hands back down onto the feet here. Lift up and just draw the knees down with a little bit of intention, but no force, just be gentle. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, draw your elbows down, your chest forward. Try to keep your head in line with your spine. Don't round too much, just be where you are. Good to separate the big toe edges of your feet. You can do that. Just keep the baby toe edges connected. A couple more breaths here. And slowly let your body rise. Let your hands come to your outer knees to gently draw those knees back together. From here, we're just going to allow the body to lean back a little bit. Bring your toes in nice and close to your body. Hands go underneath at the back of your thighs. And then from here, lean back a little, lift your heart, drop your shoulders, raise your feet up off the ground. Try to squeeze the inner line of your legs together a little bit here and lift your chest closer to your thighs. And then release hold of the hands if you can, but feel free at any time to bring the hands back in or to bring the feet back down. Now we're going to start to slowly lower onto the back body, but we're going to bring the left knee into the chest and extend the right leg out. So slow and controlled, interlace, come down to the ground. Your right leg's extended, but it's not resting on the floor, it's just hovering. Flex that right foot. Let the leg rise up again. Lower. And rise. Keep your pelvis still. Keep your belly toned. Rise up and then bend your knee. Hold on to the back of those thighs. Give your feet a little kick. Come back up into your boat pose or any variation of that. Squeeze in together. Release your hands. Lift your heart. And then begin a slow release, extending your left leg now. Drawing your right knee in as you come down, left leg hovering, shoulders drawing down. Flex the left foot, let it rise. And then point and lower. Flex and rise. Point and lower. Both knees into the chest now. Lift your head and shoulders up off the ground and reach for the soles of your feet. Keep your feet flexed. See if you can touch the bottom of your feet here. And then release your hands and start to straighten your legs. Now the straighter you go, the more challenging it's going to be. So as soon as you feel you're at your edge, stop and breathe. Instead of giving up, just come back a little bit and breathe again. Or extending out and hovering, pressing up, by reaching the fingertips, lifting the shoulder blades, holding on for me here. 3, 2, and 1. Bend your knees, touch the soles of your feet again, and then let your shoulders and arms come out to the sides. Send your legs up to the ceiling. Extend through the back of those legs. Lifting up through the heels, pressing down with your outer shoulders. Now to modify the movement here, you'll do it with bent legs. But try for me to anchor your shoulders down onto the ground. And just let your legs squeeze together and move over, just halfway down to the floor here on the right side. Just halfway, and then pause. If you want to challenge a little bit here, you're going to drop your right leg down, and then squeeze it back up to the middle, and then bring your legs back to center. From here, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, let's come over halfway to the left side. From here, you can drop your left leg only, keep your right leg strong and engaged. Squeeze your left leg back up, and then come back to center. Bend your knees, bring your feet down to the floor. Just take a moment here to let your knees rest together, your feet come apart. Soften your belly so that it can move here as you breathe. Deep breaths in, complete breaths out. Walk those feet back in, beside each other. We're gonna do bridge pose with the feet completely together here today. So your big toes touch, there's a little bit of a space between your heels, and you should be able to still be pretty close to your heels with your fingertips. Draw your shoulder blades together underneath you. Press into your feet, press into your arms, and raise your pelvis up off the floor. Now feel the length here as you send your knees further away from your shoulders. Squeeze your tailbone with your glute muscles. Squeeze the inner line of your legs together, and then just straighten your left leg by letting the foot rise up. The thighs still stay together. Hold. Bring your left foot back down to the ground. Squeeze the inner legs together. Keep the hips lifted and extend the right leg. Straightening the leg, but keeping your thighs together. Let's bring that foot back down to the ground. Press into both feet, rise up a little bit higher. And then really mindfully begin to cave through the chest so that you notice one vertebra at a time, connecting down to the mat beneath you. The entire length of the spine releasing down. When you get there, draw those knees back into your chest. You can hold on the shins or under the thighs. I always recommend under the thighs if you have knee problems. Don't put any extra pressure on the knees if you don't have to. And just give yourself a little massage here. And be generous with the massage. Go from side to side. And circle those legs. Maybe take them apart and together. Just explore what feels good for you. And then go ahead and let your feet rest back down on the ground. We're going to take your left foot here and place it on your right thigh. Your foot is flexed, and we gently open the knee. While we do that, we want to make sure that the hips stay side by side as we open the knee, so we're not swiveling in the pelvis. Pelvis stays square, knee gently opens. Once we get the knee as open as it'll go, take your left arm out to the side and start to bring this right foot over to the floor in front of you. Now notice the shin should try to remain straight up and down, the knee pointing straight up to the ceiling. Lengthening the top side of your waist here, the left side, push that hip away from the shoulder. And just feel what's going on in your hips. Relax your jaw here, relax your throat. next inhale, slowly bring the leg back to center. Release the left foot down beside the right foot. Then pick up your right foot, place your ankle on top of your thigh. Foot's flexed, and the knee gently moving away without moving the pelvis. Just move the leg bone in the hip joint. Once you feel your hips have accepted this position, extend your right arm, take your right foot over to the left side. And see if you can rest it down on the floor with your knee straight up to the ceiling, and then lengthen out that right side of your body. Breathe so much into the belly space here. Feel all of that tightness in the diaphragm, that heaviness, all that physical ramification of your anxiety, of your worry. Let it soften now and dissolve just a little. Slowly bring everything back to center. Release your right foot down, extend both legs out. Extend both arms overhead, full body stretch. Keep your arms extended, but try to move your shoulders away from your ears, so there's a big space here between your earlobes and your shoulders. Lots of room for your neck. Move your left foot all the way over to the left side or beyond the left side of your mat. And then cross your right ankle over your left ankle, extending out through your heels, and then creating a little extra bend through the rib cage by reaching your arms to the left as well. Try to press down in the sacrum, press down in the back of the shoulders, so the body stays into alignment here, opening up the side body. Breathe. Let your upper body come back into alignment first. Arms stay extended. Lift up your right leg, bring it all the way over to the right side, and just stay here open for a breath. And then take your left ankle, cross it over your right ankle. Extend through both ankles. Let your arms begin to reach to the right as well as you let those shoulders sink. Let your pelvis sink and breathe. Arms come back to center first. Uncross your legs, let them be wide. And then start to drag your heels up the edges of your mat here to bend your knees and set your feet flat on the floor. Your thighs are going to come to rest together. And your arms are going to release to shoulder height. Heel toe your feet together. And then I'm just going to get you to roll over onto your side body here. I'm going to go onto the right side. My left hand is going to come over here and touch my right hand in front of my chest. My knees are bent to 90 degrees. My hands are stacked to my shoulders and hips are stacked. And then I'm going to use this left hand here and draw it across the palm of my right hand. Across the arm, caressing the arm all the way up to the shoulder. And then opening up, hand stays connected to the chest. And then we open up to T position here on the floor. And then we take that left arm and we draw a circle on the floor above your head if you can. Keep the fingertips completely connected all the way around until we come back palm to palm. Use the hand to stay connected to your body as you open up all the way, shoulders to the earth. Circle that arm all the way up over your head, extending and reaching, and then rolling back on to the side. The next one, we open up to that T position, staying connected to the body, just stay open. Breathe. Eyes to center, let your top leg rise. Bottom leg's gonna follow. We're gonna roll over onto the other side now. Right hand is gonna come on top of the left. Stay connected with your body here. Right hand drags across your left arm, across your chest, opens up to T position. And then over the head we go, circling all the way around, palm to palm. Drag it across, forearm, shoulders and chest to open up. And then all the way back over your head. Last time here, we open up to that T position. Anchor your shoulders. Look towards that right hand. Breathe. Eyes to center. Top leg rises. Keep your legs apart. Come onto the sacrum here. Allow your hands to come underneath your thighs. Pull your thighs into your belly. Let your low legs just relax. Right foot come down to the ground. Take your left leg, cross it over completely, and then lift your right foot again. Holding on to your shins or your knees, pull in towards your chest. Maybe you could slide your hands towards your ankles and just pull those feet a little further apart. Again, if that doesn't work, remember all you need to do is draw in so that you feel a little release in the outer hip here. Chosen to be. Release your feet or your legs, let them rise up nice and straight. Take your hands onto your thighs. Now I'd like you to add a little resistance here. So you're going to push into your thighs, but you're going to push back with your thighs. So you feel that core fire up again, just a little. Hold on, one more breath. Get used to breathing with that little bit of tightening here that happens. Bend your left leg, place it on the floor. Right leg comes over the left. Lift up those legs. Now either hold on to the knees or the shins or the ankles. Maybe pulling the feet apart a little. Wherever you are, drop your shoulders down. Open up your chest. Breathe. Unwind, send those heels to the sky. Your hands are on your thighs. Push your thighs away, but push your thighs back into your hands. Feel the resistance. Drop your shoulders as you press. Breathe. And breathe again. Last one. Soften the legs. Bring the feet to the ground. Take your feet a little wide, take your hands to your belly. Just windshield wiper your thighs a little bit side to side. And just check in. Do you need any other movement in your body right now? Provide yourself with whatever your body needs here before coming into stillness. Whether or not that's just letting the legs rest, or letting the legs extend, you decide. Once you find your position, close your eyes. And begin the surrender of doing into being. Feel yourself just sinking into the stillness, your limbs, joints, your skin, all softening. Feeling yourself to begin the process here of letting go, not just physically, but energetically, perhaps emotionally. physical release may inspire an emotional release in your body, just let it happen. There is no right way to navigate these times, and each one of us is unique and different in how we're going to experience our lives right now. In this moment, just be okay with how you feel. You don't need to hide it. You don't need to push it down. Open up. Let some of that tightness go. You're doing the best that you can. We all are. Feel the earth hold you. Hold space for yourself. All that you are, and all that you feel in this moment. Let yourself settle in. If you find your mind wandering, consider placing one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Feel your body. Love yourself in this moment with compassion, and kindness, and patience. If you want to remain in Shavasana a little longer, please do so. Or you could begin to slowly reawaken your body, letting yourself eventually roll to your side. Once you arrive on your side, take a few breaths. When you feel ready, if you choose to, you can rise to sit. You can just stay where you are, sealing the practice however it suits you. I'll choose to place my hands at the heart in prayer position, bowing the head towards the heart. Reminding ourselves of the importance of this connection to our bodies, to our breath, to daily self-care, even if that means just having a shower. to community and to communication so that we can help guide each other through this unique time.